The Hawk Who Hid Her Talons. In the heart of a forest so old its trees whispered stories to the wind, lived a young red-tailed hawk named Hana. While other birds filled the air with their songs and daring flights, Hana was a creature of stillness. She would perch on the highest branch of the great cedar, not to be seen, but to see. She watched the way the wind bent the ferns and learned the patterns of the clouds, finding more joy in understanding the sky than in conquering it for show. Not all birds understood Hana's quiet ways. A young crow named Kuro, whose feathers were as black as his boasting was loud, never missed a chance to mock her. "Look at the silent hawk," he would caw to the sparrows and jays. "Glued to her branch, is she afraid of the wind? Or has she simply forgotten how to fly?" He would then perform a series of jagged flips, his calls echoing with self-importance. One day, Kuro landed on a branch just below Hana's perch. "Still watching the world go by, Hana?" he jeered. "Why don't you show us that famous hawk dive? Or is there nothing to show?" The smaller birds, gathered nearby, twittered in amusement. Hana did not look at him. She simply shifted her gaze to a line of ants marching purposefully along the bark, their quiet strength more interesting to her than Kuro's loud emptiness. And so it went. Kuro practiced his noisy tricks for all to see, while Hana practiced in the quiet solitude of dawn. When the forest was still cloaked in mist, she would push off from her branch and truly fly. She learned to ride the thermal currents until she was a mere speck in the vastness of the blue, to dive with the silence of a falling shadow, and to see a single scurrying mouse from an impossible height. These were her secrets, skills honed not for praise, but for the pure love of the flight. Kuro's vanity, however, knew no bounds. "A true king of the sky fears nothing," he crowed to his audience one afternoon. "I will fly through the tangled woods near the ground, where no one else dares." Ignoring the nervous chirps of the other birds, he puffed out his chest and plunged from the safety of the canopy into the shadowy, dense undergrowth. A sharp snap cut through the air, followed by a choked, terrified squawk. The other birds fluttered down and froze. Kuro was dangling helplessly, one leg caught fast in a hunter's snare, a cruel loop of twine that pulled tighter with every frantic beat of his wings. His pride was gone, replaced by pure, wide-eyed terror. From her high perch, Hana saw it all. She had not moved, but her stillness was different now. It was not the stillness of peace, but of intense concentration. Her sharp eyes took in every detail: the taut twine, the panicked crow, the trembling branch. The other birds fluttered uselessly, their cries adding to the chaos, but Hana was a pool of calm in the storm. Then she moved, not with a showy caw or a dramatic flourish, but with purpose. She dropped from the branch like a stone, her body a sleek, silent arrow aimed at the heart of the trouble. She fell through the air with a speed and grace that stunned the onlookers into silence. This was not the flight of a showman, it was the flight of a master. She reached the snare in a heartbeat. The other birds expected a violent attack, but Hana was all finesse. Unsheathing a single sharp talon, a tool she had never displayed, she did not strike Kuro or the branch. With one swift, precise movement, she hooked the talon under the taut rope and sliced it clean through. The tension vanished. Kuro tumbled, unhurt, into a soft pile of leaves. Kuro lay on the forest floor, panting and trembling. The woods were utterly silent. Then, the amazed chirps of the other birds broke the stillness. They looked from the severed rope to Hana, who had landed gently on a branch above. Kuro looked up, his arrogant eyes now filled with a deep, humbling gratitude. "You saved me," he whispered. Hana simply dipped her head. "That is what talons are for," she said softly. And all the birds of the forest finally understood. True strength was not in the noise you made, but in the skill you held ready for when it was needed most.